Hey there, and welcome back to the Train of Thought, an educational monster train series where we fight the divinity in every run. So, The Rise of the Golden Idol just came out. I haven't played it yet, so no spoilers, but I absolutely loved the first game. And part of the reason why I'm even bringing this up is just I'm very excited to play it. It's my plan after this recording session this weekend, so to just kind of crash through it and enjoy it. The first game is good enough, in my opinion, that I was willing to pick up the second game and the entire like deluxe edition, essentially the entire battle pass. Battle pass, not really. You know what I mean? Like all the upcoming DLCs in one package, basically, for a small reduction in cost. There's no way I'm not picking them up when they first launch. The game is just awesome. It's a puzzle game, but it's a puzzle game that is more like an investigation, whodunit sort of mystery solver. And I haven't had as much fun with a game since The Return of the Obra Dinn, which is another fantastic game that I highly recommend to anyone who likes puzzle solvers. That game is incredible. Again, anytime that person puts out a game, I'm going to play and or purchase it immediately, simply because there are very few games where I look at and I go, yeah, I'm going to absolutely love the next thing this person makes, and that's one of them. So I'm looking forward to it. A big puzzle game fan of I like them because they are well encapsulated. They are small experiences that are very fun and engaging while you play them, and it's just really satisfying. I like puzzling through it, figuring it out. I don't use any of the hints, never have, but I'm glad that they exist for people who need them. And yeah, so I'm just looking forward to that, and that's kind of just what I wanted to talk about. I guess I'm mostly bringing this up because are there any puzzle games you all know of that are in a similar vein? And before someone says Baba Is You, already played it, love it, fantastic game, wonderful job, they did great. That game is a tongue twister. Not a tongue twister, a brain twister. It's just really difficult. And I think that is a very tough one to succeed on your own. But anyway, yeah, any other puzzle games? I'm very interested in this genre. It's nice and easy for me to kind of get into on any random day. I can play them before work and not feel like I'm, cutting off a game session in the middle of something important. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Otherwise, not much to go with. We're playing Monster Train, so let's make some progress on this. Our previous run was with, yes, we cycled back around. Our previous run was with Reaper Prince, right? We actually had Brawler 1, but Reaper Prince ended up being the pivot that mattered. And there was a weird holdover -1 in Flame. This run had a bunch of really bad things that kind of just worked out. Really, the big carry, though, is a Tiny Stone +25 quick Dante that we had, which we duped. And a double ping starter did some work to get us through the early game. Made some tragic shops along the way. A dead Ashes of the Fallen, which is also very strange. But we make it. I mean, Dante does a lot of work. I mean, you think about it, double pings plus Dante's Cloak, fantastic, right? And we're not worried about that. That you're plugging everything down to death at that point. So we make it past. And we're continuing on with Sentient. Oh boy. Not terribly much else to add, so yeah, let's go ahead and hop into it. As always, do like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Let's click the button and play some games. Let's do it. Up on, what are my numbers? 272 on this particular series. I'm pretty pleased with that. We've come a long way, and yeah. Oh god, really? Really, Umbra? Really? Yikes. Well, any run could be the last run, we'll put it that way, but I think this series has been good. The no reset 100 shard, big fan. And yeah, hope you're all doing well today. I'm doing okay. Still feeling a little under the weather, but making some progress. I've actually had, more than anything, my migraines have been acting up. I have chronic migraines. I've talked about this before, but I have something I call a background headache, which is basically on the scale of 1 to 10, I have a 1 or a 2 headache pretty much at all times. Anytime I'm awake, I have that headache. Recently, I've been having, ever since these sicknesses, I've been having 3s in the background, and I don't like it. That is, it's just painful enough that it's noticeable and problematic, and I'm not used to that level of pain, so it's been not great. We'll put it that way. Hopefully this gets better. I imagine that once I stop having, congestion and things like that, it should hopefully improve. But yeah, there is always that looming concern that, I hope my headaches don't just permanently get worse. So, anyway, let's play Monster Trains while we're here. Today, default Awoken, default Umbra. It's terrible. I hate this clan combo a lot, but at least I mean, it's not good. It's pretty much irredeemable. I think there are worse variants of it. I think the Penumbra version is worse overall. At least Sentient can maybe provide cultivating value or do spikes or something, but it's not good. We're facing Plating Seal Daedalus. This is Curse Fell, that's Fell, and then Sap Seraph with Glimmer, Making of a Morsel, Restoring Retreat. They're fine cards. Glimmer's good. Making of a Morsel will help in the early game, so sure. Restoring Retreat, maybe we could overstack. It's like bad Dripfall, but sure. And yeah, great. Okay, sure, why not? No Razor Sharps, no offensive scaling, which is the real thing I'm looking for. But temples today are on 2, 5, 6. 2, 5, 6. Only 3 temples. Wow, alright, fair enough. Dupe on 8 is on Steel side. Nothing good otherwise. Steel and Magic on 7. Magic has the Vortex and Horde. Very good. Magic only on 6, competing with Hellvent. Hellvent Cave Horde is pretty strong, actually. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good, actually. Now, the Magic Shop's also good, Vortex, so we'll see. Magic, again, no Steel again on 5. We have a Trinket Shop with money. Interesting. Magic Shop has Vortex. 2 good Magic Shops in a row. We are Steel Good Shop on 4. How interesting that we got double Magics here, even though there are 2 rings where we're missing Steel Shops on 5 and 6. It's going to be Steel Light, so we're going to need to go early and hit hard, pretty much. Yeah. Now, banner situation is we have Awoken banner on Steel side on 2, Umbra banner on Magic side on 2. We're definitely going to that Awoken banner. There's a Magic Shop on 3 with an Umbra banner competing. I don't know if we're going to need that. I might. Infusions that are good are going to be hard to come by. And then there is the Steel Shop Vortex Awoken banner on 4. That's pretty strong. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to take Advanced Prototype. It's going to help a lot. The alternative is Winged Indulgence, which is fine. But Advanced Prototype is going to turn our early game to a much more powerful setup. And this will allow us to be more aggressive elsewhere. Explosive Bristling. No Cultivating, which was my hope, is to see that. So we get Spikes instead. I'm going to take this unit draft. This does make, Spikes a lot worse. 10 armor. She can't even punch them. Huge bummer. But it is what it is. I'm going to go ahead and play out some health here. I guess I'm going to ping. Sure, why not? It's a very bad turn, but it's okay. We get a Glimmer middle to at least get the Collector, which I'm very pleased about. I'm going to take the Shade Splitter. I'm going to play Rubble Morsel into Train Steward upstairs. I think that will be good. I'm going to play a Shade Splitter up top. We're going to put that in front. We get another Train Steward up top. We don't kill, but I'm going to tell you what, we come pretty close to pulling it off. So we're going to take 2 up top. Alright, we get 1 down. We get it downstairs. I don't have to even take these hits. Good. Great news. Fantastic. We'll take it. Okay, don't even have to fight that last wave because Train Steward 1v1s this man downstairs. Excellent work. Spike Sentient does not die. Only 2 damage for the trial. Fantastic. I'm going to take Steel Enhancer. I like Vine Grasp here because it's a ping, but I have Glimmer, so I'm not as pressed about it. Wildwood Sap would be a trick I'd use to get out of the early game if I didn't already have Train Stewards pumped up. Steel Enhancer at least says bonus damage, so I'm going to click it. It's not a lot, but it's something. Prismal Dust, Packed Morsels. You hate to see it. I'm not a big fan of how this is already looking. No offensive scaling in a meaningful way. Prismal Dust is fine, but... Ugh. Packed Morsels is not a bad pickup. The problem, if I go Umbra banners, I pretty much have to solve the Umbra problem, and I need to hit an alloyed construct. We'll see what we get from this banner pack. We have enough morsels. I don't think I need to take the pack morsels. Let's grab Prismal Dust. Thorned Hollow. Shattered Shell. Shattered Shell behind Sentient is going to be fairly weak, but I don't hate it implicitly. Thorned Hollow is a... Gosh, I might have to take Thorned Hollow. I have Restores, right? Restores, Glimmers. Alright. I'm going to take Thorned Hollow. I don't like it, but Thorned Hollow at least answers the question of how do I, like, actually move this run along. Do I want the Steel Shot? I don't have a good upgrade. No multi-strike pickup. Let's go the Awoken banner anyway. I mean, I could see Shadow Eater. We could end up on that line, potentially. So Umbra banners are not intrinsically awful. But what is this magic shot for me? A holdover on Glimmer is a little redundant with a Spikes person, but it's not bad. You can maybe blast enemies with it. The rest of this is not that impressive, right? I don't have a spell for it. I'm going to go left. I think it's fine. Steel Shop says Damage Shield 3. Damage Shield does work with spikes, so it's pretty cool. Yikes. Thorned Hollow. Self-infuse? Not a chance. I could just take the Husk Hermit. I will actually just grab this. It's a decent vessel if I see something. I'm going to go ahead and put Damage Shield 3 into the Hollow here. That's good. I like it. It's basically a plus 25. Get a large stone, make him big. I don't think that's worth the money. I'm just going to give him a plus 25 and we're going to chill here. It's not good, but it's something. Spell Chain. 10 in Piercing. I am going to put that on a Glimmer. It's not ideal. 12 is not a great number, but I will take it. You want to Spell Chain a Steel Enhancer? Not particularly. Not particularly. It's not bad, but it's not good. What if Steel Enhancer was +5/+5? You know, it would actually be a decent card. I feel like then Spell Chain might actually keep up. It's really tough at +3/+3. The scaling is just not there. Mostly, by the way, I took this Hermit just in case, one, I needed an infusion that gives health. It's fine for the Hollow, but more importantly, in case I saw a multi-strike there on the reroll, I would have purchased it and at least had that. Yikes. Not great. Not great. Not feeling particularly good about this. I don't feel strong enough to grab this Steel Enhancer Spell Chain. I also don't feel like it's impactful enough. Let's move on. So, Hollow will get me out of the early game. Give me this unit draft. We'll see what we hit. Hollow gets me out of Ring 1, which is cool. Sentient dies, but gets it. How much? 11, 9 is 20, 29, 54. She does not ever get past it. So we're going to just go ahead and Shade Splitter upstairs into Hollow. Give him the health and the proc. She dies, but we get mid-floor, so it's good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Steward. Tanks for Hermit. Steward middle gets Collector. Chillin'. We survived this combat, and that's honestly the best I could have hoped for, I think. Let's take some stats upstairs. I want to make sure we win on top. Hermit does pretty decent. Not mad about any of this. Manages to pull through. Sure. Prevents the conduit from hitting. The rest of this is pretty straightforward. We're just buffing our floor. I want to win this combat. We actually probably could have won on middle if I'd played into it a little more, but we're super fine up top, so sure. Easy. Okay. Thank you, Hollow. Very cool. No steel. Oh, man, no Razor Sharps. Is it a Thorn Hollow run? That's terrifying. Wildwood Sap will be the pickup then. Yikes. Okay. I'll click Perils. I will always click a Perils here. Although Immortal Trade, pretty good. Immortal Trade on Thorn Hollow is pretty decent. Seeing what? I don't know. I don't know what I'm seeing. Going in on the Hollow here is dangerous. Not seeing a lot of other options. They have to show me what an alloyed construct for me to consider an alternative here. Perils is probably a really good card that I should not skip. I'm going to take Perils. I don't think we can reasonably skip it. Shadow Siege. Now, this can get me out of the early game. Or the mid-game wrap. Man, I don't even get an infusion until ring 5? That sucks. What? That sucks so bad. Shadow Siege is impossible to play, but at the... Oh, man. Why no ring... It's ring 5. I was looking at this like, yeah, great. Put that into Husk Hermit, and my guy punches hard. But I don't even benefit from it until ring 5. It still might be worth it. I'm going to click it. It still might be worth it despite everything. Okay, so we're in a pretty bad spot, all things considered. I am going to look for a holdover, I suppose. There's no reason not to. We have a terrible mid-game. Everything's bad. 20 consume? Is there a 20 consume we want? A double stack? I mean, it's not terrible. A -1 is also fine. Let's take this horde real fast. Oh, Petrified Crucible. Alright, we're cooking. Suddenly, I now have X2 on my spikes. Thorn Hollow looking very impressive now. Huh. Let's make a Restore free. Let's 20 consume the other Glimmer here, and then spin this. Holdover on my Perils of Production is extremely tempting, but we just hit Petrified Crucible, so Holdover Glimmer might be better. It's not a very good... I don't think this is very good. I think the Holdover Perils will be superior here. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. I'm going to take the other -1 here. We're going to make Restores cheaper. And we're going to check the cave. That's pretty decent. Copy a card 5 times. You know, I considered building up like a, what is it, a double stack Wildwood Sap in case I saw this, but I don't think it would have mattered. I don't actually think we want to X5 anything here, funny enough. I think I might take an X1 on just a Consume Glimmer. As stupid as that sounds, or actually, honestly, just second Wildwood Sap is fine. Yeah, okay, second Wildwood Sap unupgraded, fine. It's okay. We move on. I feel with the Petrified Crucible hit a lot better about the run. We could actually... That is necessary element for a hollow play. Our little buddy downstairs is actually doing fantastic here, too. Just gonna blast middle. Shadow Siege never gets played. He's not as important now, but I don't hate him either, right? Let's take the Shade Splitter up top. Hollow, I definitely need the Wildwood Sap upstairs. Yeah, Sentient is doing her best. Sure. Now, how do I want to approach this? This is an interesting question. I could stop this damage upstairs, but I took health for this, and I think I would rather put morsels in than the Train Steward. Train Steward, I mean, there's really no reason to take this damage, right? Yeah, there's no reason to take it. So let's play smarter, I think. Sure. I think it's okay. If I can see Restores... Alright, we can see Restores upstairs. This pushes good numbers. I can actually just Perils up there as well. So we're doing okay. Sentient will tragically fall, but it's alright. We should crush through this. The Petrified Crucible is doing great work. Fantastic, honestly. Ah, that's a bad one. So we'll put this middle. It's fine. We'll put some damage shield upstairs. No reason not to. Okay. We're going to be alright. We get through this combat. Thorn Hollow carries the day. Great work. Wow, that Glimmer just blows them up. Fantastic news. And then what? Here's some stats downstairs, I guess? Sure. Fine. Honestly, does okay. The perils is not super impressive, but it's also not bad either. I'm not mad about it, so sure, we managed to clobber here. We easy win from this position. Yeah, no problems. Gets through it. We need to actually restore better. We need to create more here. Furnace Tap is online. I have Perils. Furnace Tap is part of the reason I click Perils, so I'm going to take the Furnace Tap. That's decent. Now, what is my infusion situation looking like? We're not getting a lot. We're not getting a lot of options here, actually. I'm thinking we might need to self-infuse, and that's a bummer. But it is Spikes 20 out of the gate, thanks to the Thorn Hollow. Was kind of hoping for a Shard Channeler, I'll admit. But Edge Prior is certainly an option. I already have the Husk Hermit as well, which is plus 30. I'm not going to take more units. I think we need to avoid this. Is it card draw here? Yes, it is. We have the Perils. I just need to keep playing it. I'd like to remove Trash. And I don't have a good dupe, so let's go to the right. Steel Singers. A little late for you, champ. I don't feel like we need this. I'm going to skip you. I could maybe hard pivot on that, by the way. I don't think it's impossible. Large Stone. I don't think so. I'm just going to spin this in case there's a multi-strike. Okay, because I am doing this Shadow Siege infusion, and this man is going to do good. So that's great, actually. We're happy to hear that. I am going to be burning Shade Splitters here. They're the least important part of my run. They get in my way. I would rather play out my Train Stewards than anything else. We will be going... It's really tempting to play into Cultivating here, simply for the draw 1, right? Draw 1 is really good on this run. Yeah, we're going to go draw 1 here. It's a good pivot. I feel decent, actually. I feel like we maybe have this. It's going to be slow, but we're sub 50 right now. We can take this. Mark of Invasion. There's a draw that makes this a problem, but I have the health to eat that damage if I see it. Okay, we are going to Sentient on... Ooh, this is interesting. We're going to Sentient downstairs. We got an upgraded Conduit, which makes this a bit challenging. I'm going to play... Steward middle. It punches some guys. It'll do. I'm going to put a Wildwood Sap on Sentient here and chill. We eat 6. It's fine. The top floor is not going to look great, but I think we're going to be alright because we do hit... Yeah, we hit the Thorn Hollow upstairs, which is important. The Glimmer does most of this pretty cleanly. This guy's going to hit us. We get the Collector from this as well, which is good. I am going to play the Hermit downstairs to get rid of this backline guy, and we're just going to have to take 4 damage, and that's okay. We're looking at, what is that, 10 damage altogether? I'm okay with it, right? Should be fine. I don't think we just slammed this, but we could just slam it. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and slam that Furnace Tap, actually. As weird as it sounds, this does a lot of work for us. And we can see the... Yeah, we see the Perils coming up, which is decent. I'm going to play a Train Steward upstairs. It doesn't actually get the kill. Man, that's a bummer. Really? It doesn't actually get the kill, so I'm taking another 6 anyway. I may as well put the Miner in then. Alright, fair enough. You hate to see it. Okay, let's Perils downstairs here, and then just actually play some Rejuvenate triggers upstairs, and we'll clear this out now. It's not bad, honestly. Top floor is not bad. I am going to keep buffing here. We're just going to take most of these coming in. Damage shield, sure. Yeah, bottom floor, of course, was going to fall apart. Never really had a doubt that was going to be a problem. I'm just going to keep buffing upstairs at this point. We're looking okay. We have plenty of spikes to win this. No worries. Okay, we get out of this combat. Great. Thanks, bud. Appreciate it. Okay, we get out, we take a chunk of damage, but I'm not mad about it. None of it was too awful, and ooh, Engraft is the pick here for sure. None of it was too awful, so Engraft is the angle here. Engine upgrade, Prism Retrieval, Cave-In. No, I don't think I need Cave-In. No, it's fine. Okay. We do get our infusion, at long last. I could go left, Merchant of Trinkets. There's stuff I could hit. Gnarled Root maybe exists, but I don't think it's that as important as the Petrified Crucible. Magic Shop and removals are probably better, if I'm being clear with you. Yeah, I think Magic Shop and removals are better here. We're going to do our infusion. A plus 30 into the Big Glimmer is great. Just going to go ahead and pick that right now. Intrinsic is... What an interesting question. I don't know what we're going to see, but let's look at this Magic Shop. Holdover again is just going into Engraft, and it's not particularly close. This is a... It's Ember Generator, but more importantly, it is card draw free and in Rejuvenate trigger. It's really strong here. Really strong here. I'm going to buy a plus 10, get some bigger heals, re-roll this. Permafrost is kind of a whatever. You know, it might have been okay. I could have intrinsic permafrosted the... What's it called? You could have intrinsic permafrosted the Restoring Retreat, but I don't think that's super critical. I'm not upset that I can't play this Shadow Hermit man somewhere important. Do I intrinsic the perils? I don't think so. No? Right. Because you can't control the order of the draws, right? I could get Thorn Hollow in turn 1, and then a intrinsic wouldn't have been enough, so you'd have to permafrost it to be sure. We're just going to remove 2 Shade Splitters. I'm not upset about that. I don't think it's a big deal. No problem. I'm just going to make stuff cheaper and more accessible in general and feel pretty happy about it. Okay. We've gotten some good removals here. Is this intrinsic worth it? On the perils, its value. I'm going to wait because I could see another spell chain though, and that would be cool. I don't actually need Sentient in front of Hermit, by the way. It's actually not super important to me. So we just kind of move on. It's fine. We're at 85 now. We have the pieces. I feel decent. I feel like we can actually get away with the spikes now that we have Shadow Hermit online. Right? Shadow Hermit is just a truck. Doesn't really matter the floor either. I think I am going to put Sentient down first, and then we'll put Big Man upstairs, Hollow up top. We'll give him the Wildwood Sap buff middle. Right? This is pretty decent. Now the downside, of course, is when I do hit the Restoring Retreat, I can't really do too much about it, but that's fine. I'm just going to put a Train Steward downstairs now. Punches a man. That's good. Alright. Thanks, Shadow Hermit. Extremely cool. Keep restoring upstairs. I'm going to go ahead and just hit Furnace Tap middle. He's going to just pummel things, right? He does a ton of damage. He's very strong, as it turns out. So, not mad about it, alright? I'm going to actually drop him down, as crazy as it is. This top floor looks bad up until we hit it with the Glimmer. He clears that floor out. I can get him to live. I was going to say, I think he lives if he doesn't spikes himself to death. So that's cool. Now, I don't have a lot of confidence in him. He's not the main feature, though, right? He's not the main thing keeping us afloat. He is just doing an okay job. I don't even think he doesn't even swing. There you go. Does not even swing. Crazy. That's okay. This is, if you recall, this is Self-Made Harpy into a Spikes champion in the form of Thorned Hollow, so pretty decent, if I'm being clear with you. We should completely pummel. I'm doing, yeah, like 1 billion damage here around. An absolute truckload. Yeah, just completely crushes herself on one round, actually. Impressive. Cool. We get out. No problems. I won't. I will take Faulty Loader. I was going to say no because I need enemies to hit me, but I actually don't thanks to the Shadow Siege business, so I'm just going to take this. That's fine. Will I grab Engraft again? No. I will grab Ensnare this time because I want to root key enemies on the floor. Let's go ahead and skip. I don't need Cave In. This is the second time they've shown it to me. You know, you could use it again to put the person, the Hermit behind, etc., but I don't think we need to. I could go left. More removals. Another good magic shop. I could also alternatively dupe and graft, which is straight up just a very good card to have. Right? Just very strong. Second in graft is really going to push us through the roof. I'm going to go ahead and go to the right, actually. I think that I want to get this dupe in. The Horde today says Sketches is... weird. Not good. Not what I want. Forever Flame? I mean, it makes them free. I'll take the free. I don't think it's Sketches here. One, because I still have a bunch of Stewards, but also if you end up with Hermit in front, it's really hard to recover from. Right? If I had an Intrinsic on the Restoring Retreat, suddenly that would have been good. But I didn't take that. So, because then you could have always dropped the Hermit down, and it would have been pretty neat. I'm going to take Forever Flame instead, though. We're going to look in this cave. Heartstone. We definitely can't take Petrified Heart or we lose. Putting a plus 25 in Hollow is always going to be good. And then Blood for Blood also exists. I'm going to just go ahead and put a plus 25 in my Hollow. There's no downside to this. It's well worth it. Now the dupe here is as simple as Engraft. It is the strongest card that I have for what I'm doing. Absolutely. Let's go. We move in here. Spell Chain into my perils. That's a good payout. We love to see that. A Purge here. I will burn. Shade Splitter. Goodbye. Am I going to do an infusion? Probably not, honestly. I actually don't think the... I mean, the health is fine on Steward, but I, don't need this, right? It's not helping. We didn't see, Edge Prior or something. So, kind of whatever. Are these stats actually worth it? I don't think so. This is a train of thought. I don't think we want to go too terribly hard here. Let's just go ahead and move on. We should have no problem winning this run. So, that's good. The Petrified Crucible doing a vast majority of the work. Alright, this is going to be... Sentient, Hermit, play this, draw a card, stab bottom. Don't need to play anything else. Okay, fine. Cool, and then it's Hollow upstairs. We begin the process of making this work. We get the perils, which we're going to go ahead and play here. I'm going to go ahead and double making of a morsel upstairs. And then I will put a Train Steward down. Alright, seems okay. Cool, we're going to go ahead and keep buffing here. I am going to drop the Hermit down. We see our other Engraft angles. Great news. Play out our units. The unfortunate thing is these units are a bit of a struggle, right? So, when I say a bit, I mean basically... they are causing some issues. It's hard to just play them, right? That's the issue. Doing 300 damage downstairs. If I were investing survivability into bottom floor, I think we could actually probably win on bottom. But the fact that I'm not is relevant, so sure. I'm focusing upstairs because, well, it seems obvious to me here, but it's just better. So, okay. Now, I could keep her alive. I will, actually. There's really no reason not to do this. She's useful. She gives me card draw. So, sure. If it's possible and feasible to keep her alive, we'll do it. I am just going to Glimmer bottom floor. It's actually great there. Well worth the sacrifice. We have a very strong top floor situation. I guess I might as well bring another train steward down, sure. Right? They're annoying because they're stealing cultivates, but it's also not the most important thing I'm doing. So kind of whatever. We are doing great on Inspire, or rather Rejuvenate triggers here. You'll note that we're pushing 156 spikes damage. This is fast enough that I think this would win Divinity. We actually win on bottom floor, which is hilarious to me. The fact that I'm able to have pulled that off is impressive. There you go, bud. Let's go. Sure, why not? Thanks, Shadow Hermit, who's also here. Cool. Good. Great, in fact. Cycle of Life, another Furnace Tap. I don't hate it, but he's not going to live forever, so I don't know what the plan there is. Now, you know, another consideration is I could try to put Hermit on the same floor as my Thorned Hollow, which would be, I guess, cool. I'm going to take the other Furnace Tap. There's really no reason not to. Card draw it is. Although, again, Space is easy. Space does make some stuff easy here. I think because we have the Cultivate, Space is good. Let's go ahead and take this. This prevents me from having to do anything fancy. And that's neat. I'm going to go ahead and go left. There's a decent opportunity. I mean, I guess the removals are really good, though. Where am I going on the 8th floor? The dupe is Steel Side. Okay, we have an opportunity to see a multi-strike or something. Or quick to put in the last Hermit slot. So sure, I'm going to go to that dupe for sure. We'll go to the removal Vortex magic shop here then. Guild marker. Alright, I'll take that. Wing clippings is not that useful for me here. I'm going to grab the cash. It's useful to have. Removals here are just... I don't hate the making of a morsels, right? Train stewards go away. I took space, so they're going to be easier to play. I guess we just cut the making of a morsels here, right? I don't really see a reason to hold on to them. True, actually. True. We're not playing morsels here. Goodbye. Okay, we're managing to clean up our run, which I really am glad about. Ah, yes, I can simply consume the Furnace Tap, and then Crush. Now, what do I care about more? 100 health, Cultivate 2, or Spikes 20? I mean, with the fact that I have a Thorned Hollow and a Shadow Hermit, I really feel like the answer here is just Cultivating 2. I'm not keen on... I don't need her to have Spikes 40 procs, right? Spikes 20 is enough. Just hard pivot into the Cultivate here. It's okay. 100 health is better. Great. Sure. -1. There are no more temples. Correct. Let's go ahead and make Furnace Tap. Remove Consume, and we'll give it a -1 just so it's a little more playable. I'm going to put a +10 into a Restore. Every single one of these that's a little more effective is great. Another Holdover. I mean, Holdover and Snare, this is an unnecessary thing to have, but it's great for mini-bosses. The -1 here is just another Restore. The 20 Consume here. I'm going to put this on the Restoring Retreat. I will not need to cast that to use that many times. I think we also are just going to purchase a removal on a Train Steward to speed up our initial draws. Very efficient. Let's move on. I think we have this. We're just in the refinement stages. Spikes should not be too bad here. The Shadow Hermit is providing a lot of value, which I really appreciate. The fact that I can do something like Sentient, Blam, bottom floor, completely crush that is pretty huge, right? Pretty huge. I like it. A lot of these enemies don't even threaten me. Great. I'm just going to go ahead and do the Glimmer here because it helps my guy not pass away. Cool. Seems decent. He's doing fantastic. Now, he is going to die for anyone keeping track. It's just sort of how that's going to work. Guess we ensnare. I didn't have enough Ember to play everything out because I did click the Furnace Tap without the perils in my hand. But the engrafts are pseudo here, so it's fine. I could put the train steward in. I might as well. Get him out of here? Sure, why not, bud? Great work. Bottom floor is not looking great. I am going to have to glimmer this, and that's okay. Right, just send it on the big one. Ba-bam. Honestly, fantastic. The rest of this just goes upstairs, right? Fantastic. And then we have a strong, relentless action in play. Bottom floor is doing great. I'm just going to go ahead and Restoring Retreat Sentient here. We get the Furnace tab. The bottom floor is looking great, but our top floor is also actually looking great. So, feeling decent about this. And then you just play the Glimmer down here because it's the most efficient use of it. The rest of this is just now we actually get the major restores. Have to drop the Ensnare, but it's not a big deal. And we do not win on bottom, but I'm not mad about it. Remember, we're in a really good position anyway. So, sure. We're over 100 downstairs. Honestly, bottom floor crushed it there. That's really impressive. These train stewards are doing a good job. Whatever. I'm just going to play top floor. There's really no reason to do anything else here. Whatever. I'll take the Rejuvenate trigger. It's fine. We easy win this. I think she attacks once and dies. Right? 240 damage. Cool. Bonk. Great. Great, actually. Seems good. Preserved Thorns. I mean, another Engraft is not wrong. This card can be... I can add as many of these as I want, and they are really good here. So I'm going to do that. Wretch, Cannibalize, Excavation Eruption. No thank you. I am going to go for the dupe. Yeah, I am. I think this is the dupe angle. We're going to go ahead, take the Horde for sure. Cleansing Water might be it. Pyrewall's not bad. Mask of Penumbra, I've removed all of my morsels. Let's go ahead and take... Which one do I want to take here? Pyrewall is fine, but I think I'm in a decent control position. I'm going to take Cleansing Water because it gets rid of spikes and stuff. Large Stone, Damage Shield 3. I'll spin it and see what we hit. Sure, Multi-Strike again. Why not? Hermit now hits 3 times. Fantastic. Trinket Shop, Winged Technology, Priory's Cloak. Yikes. Jackstrips, spin that. Sap Tap is card draw. And then I think this might be just Golden Vault and go. Now we are at the point where I'm drawing enough cards. I'm going to be drawing 7. That with the Engrafts and the Ensnare, I'm already going to be drawing 10. So I think the actual answer here is a big dupe on the Glimmer that does 1,000,000 damage, right? Glimmer that does 1,000,000 damage is very strong. This will also heal my bottom floor and keep Sentient from passing away, which I think is relevant. We hit 150. Now I could just buy a bunch of removals. What do you cut if I do this angle? It's just cleaning up the train stewards, right? That's it. It's entirely train stewards, but I don't think I need to worry about them too much. I'm just going to take the Golden Vault, and we have 4 hits, and that's fine. 150 out of 100. This is Train of Thought, so I'm good. Let's move on. Yeah, I feel decent about this, actually. I think we have it. The Golden Vault, I mean, it gives me a slight bit of barrier. Alright, Sentient bottom floor. She's not going to do anything, but that's okay. Thorn Hollow top floor, absolutely. Let's begin the buffing process. Let's do the Train Steward up top here. This one can go up here, I think. I need to make sure the... what am I trying to say? I need to make sure that the hit for this floor is going into... from the Hermit, right? So I needed to not be this Train Steward. So you simply play the Hermit middle and he's cruising. He pummels this. And the rest of this is fine. I do get a good Glimmer so I can push some numbers bottom floor and save Sentient a bit. Now we're at a position where I can Restoring Retreat my floor down and that will be okay. right? Yes. True. I guess I can save some health bottom floor. No reason not to. Sure. Not playing that because I do want to not put a Train Steward on the floor there. Alright, we see the Restoring Retreat. Fantastic. We're in control upstairs, so I'm just going to go ahead and drop the lad down. Great work. The rest of this is upstairs, and it's not particularly close. Guy lives. Incredible work. Let's go ahead and Furnace Tap downstairs. Guy is going to crumble and everything, right? This is pretty clean. We play the Glimmers downstairs. Should be in control. We are. Top floor is in a good position. Didn't have to worry about that in the least. Bottom floor will hold together thanks to Glimmer plus Furnace Tap. So, cool. The Train Steward on top floor is doing zeros, and that's fine. Very little I could do about it at this point. Bottom floor is pushing big numbers, so fantastic. Just keep buffing here, put a Train Steward middle. I'm going to blast bottom because there's no reason not to. Great. Cool. I think we're good. I don't really have a lot else to add. The bottom floor is way more compelling than I think is obvious. That floor is crushing it. Top floor is crushing it. And yeah, Sentient is in a good position. So sure. Final wave. Do we win on bottom? We don't, but it's respectable, right? We can actually do better with the Glimmer play downstairs, which we will be clicking, which is great. Furnace Tap again, fun. Sure. We easy win upstairs, so I'm not afraid of it. Hit the Glimmer on the boss. Pushing about 3,000 damage into the boss here, which is totally acceptable. Like, we easy crush 500 upstairs. I think we get it in one round, so I'm really not pressed about it. I don't need... I'll play the Ensnare. It draws a card. Why not? Right? It's fine. Yeah, we crush it. Great work. And then, I mean, in an emergency, you just Furnace Tap the stupid Hollow, and now he hits twice, and that's amusing, right? But he, of course, kills him on the spikes, so it doesn't matter. Looking good. We do end up with Shard of Divinity. That's fantastic. We have a very good amount of security on our Pyre now. Feeling confident about the run. Good. Great work, honestly. I mean, we could have gone to 200 shards comfortably, thanks to Petrified Crucible and the whole engraft angle. So there's that. This top floor might cause me some issues, but this Glimmer helps a lot, so that's good. We are going to Thorn Hollow up top. I'm going to go ahead and hit the engrafts upstairs. I have the Perils in hand, so I'll play it. Might as well. Sure. Bottom floor, Hermit is online. Top floor... Interesting. I could, you know, in a weird way, I'm actually okay with the way this is panning out. Right? Think about this. What if I Furnace Tap upstairs here? I don't need my Hermit to do a lot of work here. So I think I'm actually going to play top floor like this. Sort of a strange thing. I can heal downstairs, which is nice, which lets me Glimmer upstairs and save this. Not that it really mattered, but, you know, fair enough. He pummels. I mean, eventually he starts doing a respectable amount. Bottom floor clears itself out. The whole Shadow Hermit thing is just absolutely on point. Really powerful for anyone keeping track. Get some guys on bottom floor. I do lose Sentient. Ah, that's a bummer. That's okay, right? That's okay. It's a card draw I lose, which I'm not a huge fan of, but it's fine. Does bottom floor hold together? Hey, they're doing great. Honestly, the bottom floor is doing fantastic work, so that's cool. We're pushing respectable numbers upstairs. The ensnare means I don't have any sort of fear here, which is great. So this mini-boss walks up, but who cares, right? Ah, he's falling apart here. It's okay. We almost kill him, actually, which is impressive. I actually do kill him, which is shocking. I was going to ensnare him, but I guess it doesn't matter. Thorned Hollow just beats him up, takes his lunch money. It's pretty cool. We're now down to just top floor, and this is largely because of the way I've chosen to play it, but I don't have any fear because our floor looks absolutely rock solid here, right? Absolutely solid. Just no real risk on this one. I'm just gonna ensnare that mid-floor guy. I don't feel like dealing with it. We're doing over 500 damage up here, which is cool. I can just blast a guy downstairs. There's no reason not to take the rejuvenate. Sure, why not? Great. Good job. Cool. Draw me a card, please. The one turn I wanted to hit a Glimmer, I didn't, which means I get some curses next turn, which is unfortunate. We just completely kill the High Priest, though. We just punch him to death. The top floor, our Thorned Hollow is actually just 1v1ing everything, and he's good, so no one's actually concerned about this, right? Great. Fantastic. One round in, and then he just beats him up. Incredible, we did it. Fantastic news. Not much to add. A very solid run of Monster Train. I would say that Thorned Hollow saves the day yet again. Petrified Crucible is an exquisite hit that completely turns around our concern for this run, especially thanks to Spike Sentient. I also think Shadow Hermit does work. Even though he showed up late, I feel really good about that. So, incredible work. Go team. He did fantastic. Shadow Hermit just kind of walked up and punches. He mattered more on Seraph, but it really, we could have gone either way, right? I could have, thanks to Furnace Tap and Perils, simply made Thorned Hollow kill those waves too. But at a minimum, I wanted to try to defray some of the damage, and I did want to prevent Sap Seraph from, you know, grifting one floor a little too hard. I wanted to make sure that I spread it out. So, as a result, we played 2 on Seraph, and we played 1 on Divinity, and it was okay. Even then, the Sentient and Husk Hermit floor did great on Divinity for as little effort as I put into them. It was really just periodically playing these big glimmers. That's it. But that's really good. I mean, that's a good card, don't get me wrong. Clears enemies, fewer things are hitting Sentient, heals the floor, doing great. Cool. The rest of this was just cut every single card that said Morsel, and then the Forever Flame worked out because it made the Train Stewards very free to play. They're very low impact, and because of Advanced Prototype, they actually do something, so pretty decent. Thorned Hollow, not even infused because his self-infuse is so bad. I could have maybe self-infused him, but why? I don't know. 20 spikes? It's, even with the Petrified Crucible, it's 10 normally, so 20 with the Crucible. It's just not that impressive. You could have done it, sure, but why? I don't know. Otherwise, though, once we had the Petrified Crucible and the early game Advanced Prototype support, I feel like we had a good commanding run throughout. Advanced Prototype does so much work in making sure Sentient doesn't die on Ring 3, which is a real concern. So, but yeah, things are looking good. Happy to have succeeded at this. We're past Sentient with a solid run. Not really much else to add, so brings us up to 273 wins on the series. We're not out yet. And yeah, hey, thanks a lot for watching this. I really appreciate your time. As always, you can give the video a like if you want. You can subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. And stay tuned for what's next. Take care, folks.